All right, we're always getting spooked lately. This is a fact. People are saying mortgagee in possessions. It's happening. It's a real thing. This is scary. Interest rates. You're stuffed. You're stuffed. You're stuffed. And then we've got grave diggers going, I'm going to buy something when the banks have to sell it. What are the numbers? Stay tuned. We're going to tell you the facts.
Don't be a
Hey,
grave digger.
don't be a grave shooting down the grave diggers today. Now, I do have to start. I do have to start with empathy. I think that there's the rates have almost tripled for some people out there. It's hurting all of us. There are people that are selling their property before it gets to the mortgagee in possession stage, before it gets to the banks. And we're all in it together. We're back in that. When COVID was happening, and we're going through the throes of it happening to everyone in Australia. This is happening to everyone in Australia.
It's real. And don't get me wrong, there's always a time and a place for opportunistic buying. We're not saying you can't be looking out for a deal, and we're not saying, you
Absolutely.
always want to have your eye out for, a great buy. However, there's a difference between the people that are constantly on the phone to the real estate agent saying, call me when you've got someone who's in a position they must sell the bank's mortgage in possession. It's just not happening.
They're grave diggers, and they're and it's sort of hard to ignore them because the environment's ripe, and you can understand them going, I'm going to buy someone that's going through pain. Now, one thing and a principle I've always lived by is you never want to make your money off other people's loss, right? So, principally, morally, I think it's disgusting.
Mm.
And whenever I hear it, your hair always goes up on the back of your neck. I'm thinking, you don't want to make your money from other people's loss, right? Billy, what are the numbers? What is the cold hard truth?
The truth is actually quite scary, to be totally honest. These properties are literally a needle in a haystack, and yeah, we're going to go through them with you today. Now, I don't know if we've got them in order.
Well,
That's
I've
all.
got it. I've got it in order. Let me bring it up.
Okay, Mark's
Now,
going to do it in
before
order.
before we present this number, I've got it right here. Um,
Yep.
Before we present this number, you do have to remember. I want to frame it up. So, a bank applies for a writ with the Supreme Government, and they assume the title of the property. So, clients buried their head in the sand. Client can't pay the mortgage, and I really do feel for these guys for whatever reason. Sometimes it's health reasons, right? It's not just they borrowed too much money. Sometimes it's mental health, sometimes it's physical health. There's a proportion of that. Sometimes it's mortgage stress, and there's a proportion of that. And
Yep.
hearts definitely go out to people. And I just really wanted to stabilise people with the actual facts today, because I'm not, I'm sort of not pro or against. It's really like, let's just know our numbers before we start, entertaining it as an industry, buyers, sellers, or whatever you are. So this year, the amount of people, the New South Wales government has registered writs on behalf of lenders. Channel 9
It's hard to
News,
miss. There you go.
right?
Great screenshot.
It's Channel 9 News. Thanks, Billy Bob. 344 writs, repossessions. Now, what's the first thing that jumps to mind when you see that number? Now, that's year to date, so that's 8 months worth now, right?
Yeah.
That's 346. That's New South Wales wide, Supreme Court registered, last 8 months. What's the next question? I'm happy for anyone to throw questions our way. This is a live show, and we are talking about mortgage and possessions today.
Yeah. I want to go through a couple of comments here as well. The cliff is more like a bunny hill. That's really interesting to way frame it up.
Yeah.
I love motivated sellers, but I love growth market more. Um, no use getting a good deal if the market doesn't grow. Absolutely. Mortgagee sales are often poor quality properties.
Yeah.
Interesting. Could be a drug house. Beware. Get it med test. 346 out of 5,000 sales. It's nothing. That's it. And we're
Okay.
going to break down that.
We're going to give you that number shortly. We're going to give you that number
Yeah.
shortly. Billy, out of interest questions, when you see 346 mortgagee possessions, do you automatically think, what was it last year?
Absolutely. What do you compare it to?
What do you compare it to? Well, it would be good if Billy uploaded it.
Oh, you're kidding. Hang on.
So while you're doing that, I'm gonna also give one other piece of information. Now, Luke, you've just framed up. There's 5,000 sales in the state of New South Wales. That's your estimate. Here's the true number. Okay, so New South Wales last year there was 177,000 residential sales settlements. 216
Yeah.
the year prior, 177 the year prior to that. So when you see that there's 346 mortgage and possession writs in the New South Wales Supreme Court, and when you see that there's 177 in New South Wales, it's representing a very finite, a very minute amount of people that are relying. So when, as a real estate agent, I hear people come through and they go, "We're going to wait for the banks to come in. We're going to wait for the mortgage and possessions." Guys and girls, you're waiting for one of 346 in New South Wales, and you are waiting for You are waiting for 300 odd properties last year, as an example, for say 400 out of 177,000.
There's the numbers for last year. I do apologize about the delay.
Okay, so this is interesting. Can you explain this, Billy Bob?
Well, we've had a look at the numbers for this year, and completely given it's not over yet. We're 3/4 of the way through. But if you look at what the trend is, I think interesting. Give or take, the numbers haven't changed drastically over the past few years. 2022, it's hard to miss there, 390, 2021. And this is a year when there was a huge amount of, sort of turbulence. There was still a lot of, up and downs from COVID. I only really feel like we're sort of slowly getting back to normal, where that's no longer the, point of conversation. So, yeah, that when you divide that percentage over the total number of sales, we did it just before off air. It is literally a needle in a haystack, and you're not the only one looking for it as well. That one person who's coming through the open homes or thinks they're going to land it. There's definitely more than one person looking for that same needle.
Me personally, I think it's good news.
Yeah, I think it's positive.
I think it's good news. And the way it was sensationalised with Channel 9, God bless them, they gave us these numbers today. They said it is going to be 2 times. It's exploded by 2 times. And then when I saw that, I was like, oh my God, that's terrible. And then I'm thinking, I wonder how many properties sold in New South Wales. So I dug that up. And then I was like, So I get, when you look at these numbers, that there's 346 the last 8 months. When you look at these numbers and you look at there's 390 all of last year, 284 all of last year. Well, I get what Channel 9 saying, that that 346 is probably going to go to 550. Maybe it's going to go up twice. I get that, but I just think relatively, when you're putting it up that there's 177 sales in New South Wales, in the state at the moment, never mind the amount of properties that are out there, it's a pretty small little number.
Well, there you go. It's 13 per week, and let's face it, if you're a buyer in the marketplace, chances are you're not you're not pre-approvals are running out every 3 months. You're not
Yeah.
able to sort of jump on every one of these sales either. So really, I think what good buying looks like in the marketplace at the moment. Well, pretty much anything. It's not what you buy. It's just how you're buying it. But you got to factor in there's still there's still been a price correction off the back of when we peaked prices in COVID. So you're still getting a discount.
Yep.
That's it.
There you go, kids. That's the show. And to the grave diggers out there, if you are digging these graves up, you're not going to find much, kids.
You might even find someone else under there. Might have beaten you to it.
That's it.
See you, Mark. Have a good day.
Do you like my title today? Real Estate Saint?
It's very well done.
Just have to give someone good news.
It is good news. It is good news. But yeah, our hearts go out to those people.
Yeah, big time. And you know what? There's also a lot of people out there that are suffering from the bad news, or as well. So there's the component of the fiscal, the actual stress of interest rates going up. But then there's the component of it playing with your head, which is, I think, a lot more dangerous. And I hope the show helps these people today.
Yeah, totally. That's it. Get in touch if we can help.
All right, that's it. Love you. See you. Bye.